Hello out there to you. In this video, we are going to calculate nominal GDP, real GDP, GDP deflator, and inflation, and then the CPI. And we're going to do this all with Google Sheets. Okay, so we want to set up a little spreadsheet to look like our problem here. So I'll just fill in year, T, coffee, nominal GDP, real GDP, GDP deflator, and inflation. And inflation really is a rate, by the way. So it has to be the change in the GDP deflator from one year to the next. So we don't have one for that. I'm going to put everything in center just so it's easier. So what I did is I highlighted everything. Then I went over and hit center. Then I went to years. I went 2017. 2018, 2019. Okay, and then our prices 246. Our, oh, looks like I need to add something here underneath T. And okay, so I want the price of T and then the quantity of T. And I want the same thing with coffee. So I guess I didn't notice that when I did this initially. So what I'm doing is I right-clicked and I hit insert a new insert a new column. Okay, so instead of just saying T, and so you can split these columns here, but I'm not going to do that. So we'll just do price T, quantity of T, and then price of coffee, quantity coffee. And in a second, I can make that taller, but it's fine. Okay, so there's price of tea, and then our price of coffee, 2, 2, 3, 5, 150, 150, 100, 120, 200. Okay, so nominal GDP is just the current period prices times the current period quantity. So put a formula where you hit equals. Now it thinks it knows what we're doing, but it doesn't. So I want, for 2017, I want the price of T. So I hit equals to start the formula, and then the multiply is that star key on your keyboard. And we're going to multiply it by the quantity of T. Now I'm going to put this in parentheses because I want it to do that calculation, and then I want it to add that to our price of coffee times our quantity of coffee. So it's basically the spending on coffee plus the spending on tea. Hit enter. That's okay to copy that down. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And so now we're all set. There's our nominal GDP. Now our real GDP is going to use the base year. So we go back to the problem, and our base year is 2017. So 2017. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a formula where we say equals the price in 2017 times the quantity 2017. But I want to set this so that the price doesn't change. Okay. And so I'm locking in the prices there. So I'm going to hit F4 on my keyboard and put the dollar signs in there. So that price isn't going to change. The quantity will change. And then we're going to do the same thing plus price of coffee. I want to lock that in times the quantity of coffee. Now you might be saying, well, hey, that's going to give us the same answer. Well, that's right. In the base year, remember that the price and quantity are always the same. Or sorry, the nominal and real are always the same in your base year. So no problem. And then it copied that down for us. You can check it here. If you look, it's keeping that price the same, but then changing the quantity. So you can do that manually, but it just copied it for me. Okay. The GDP deflator is a formula where we have the nominal divided by the real. And then again, you want to put that in parentheses so that it does that first, that calculation first, times 100. And that gives us our GDP deflator, which is a way of calculating inflation. Now I'm going to copy that formula there. Let's make that just a few decimals smaller. There we go. So that's our GDP deflator. And the inflation rate we can actually do in our head. It's the percent change. Anytime you're going off of a percent, that's a 70. It's going to be 77%. It's the difference between 100 and then. But this calculation is a little bit harder. So the formula for that using the deflator is the new minus the old. I'm going to put that in parentheses, divided by the old. And then I want the whole thing to be multiplied by 100 because it's a percent. And if you want, remember I said it was 77%. If you want to, you can hit the percent key right here. But because of the way I did that, if you take away, you can take away that last part there. So now it's a decimal. I can copy those. I can hit the percent key, and it changes it to that. Whatever you prefer, whatever's easier for you. So there's our inflation rate. Okay, so now we've calculated all of that. Okay, now we want to know the CPI. And the CPI is a specific market basket. So it says 100 cups of tea. You have to remember this, 100 cups of tea and 50 cups of coffee. So now we're going to keep that. We can actually, the way that the problem wants us to, or I guess, set it, oh, it's actually it's the quantity right here. We don't need to worry about that. So with the CPI, we'll say CPI, we're going to write a little fancier inflation from CPI. So our CPI is going to be the market basket in the current year. So how much did that cost us? So it cost us 2 times 100. See the theme here. Times, so it's the price times the current quantity, or this quantity is going to lock in the basket, times the price times that quantity. Okay, I'm going to put that in parentheses so that it does those parts first. It might not need that, but you just want to make sure. And then the CPI is the market basket in the current year divided by the market basket in the base year. So they're actually the same, and then the whole thing is going to be multiplied by 100. So it's a lot to type in there. Okay, and I must have made a mistake because the CPI in the base year has to be 100. Somewhere in my formula, something is not correct. Let's see again. There's 100. It should be. And I did a little bit of checking off camera there and found the mistake. So what it's doing is it's not keeping this all as one formula function. So it really should be 300 over 300. And so I put parentheses on that equation, and then I'm going to put parentheses on this equation. There's not too many equations. Yeah, there you go. So that's where it's 300. So that's where the parentheses are important. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could break this up. You could say market basket in the base year, and then in fact, to make that a little easier, let's do that. Let's say market basket base year, and we actually know what that is. That is our formula there. It's 300, and then current basket. So that is, we're going to, oh, these are going to be the same. Getting confused myself here. The current basket is going to be the quantity of 50 coffee times our current price plus, I'm doing this backwards, but it doesn't matter, plus 100 T's times the 2018 price of tea. And I don't think I need to put it in parentheses, but just in case, I want the multiplication part first. Remember that answer was 550. So I don't think it matters, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so then we want to copy that. Whoop, no, we don't. So the things that we don't want to change are C4. So I lock in that quantity, and then E4, I lock in that quantity. And now I can copy that one down. There you go, 850. Okay. So that's the CPI, two ways of calculating CPI. So market basket, or rather current basket, which is 550, divided by our market basket, and this number should be more than 100. So I'm going to multiply that by 100, and I get that 183. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Current basket divided by market basket. And then I'm multiplying by 100. And this, let's get rid of some of those decimals. Okay, now I've got the inflation rate. So I can see 83% from that. Now, if you wanted to, you could do the same thing. And that got a little messy. So what I suggest is just figure out what the current basket is and put it over the market basket and then multiply by 100. Okay, we don't have inflation rate from the first year because I have nothing to compare it to, but I do have from the next one. So we know it's 83%, but I'll still do the formula. So this minus this over the base year, or divided by the base year, and then multiply that. But let's not multiply that. We'll just leave that, and we'll turn them into percents. There we go. Okay, so we're all done. We have filled in everything. And so now the last part, we want to compare. Mr. Spam, Professor Spam says the GDP deflator reached the same conclusion. Do you agree with the statement? Okay, so looking at, so let's see what the inflation rate was. So 77% in 2018 with the GDP deflator, 83% with the CPI. That's pretty close together. And then 57% in the 2019 and 54% in 2019 on the CPI. Very, very similar. This is what we see in reality usually. So let me see if the quantities are way different. We are buying twice as many tea units and 3 times as much coffee. So I would definitely want to use the GDP deflator, but they are coming to a very similar conclusion. So it doesn't really matter. I would talk about that if I was explaining that. But that's how to set up all this and put it in so you can set up your own calculator. You can come in and change the prices if you want. That's why we did it that way. And you can see what happens. You can change the prices over. You can change quantities over here. See, it updates everything. That's why we do spreadsheets. All right, have a great day.